I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Again, thank you everyone for attending this morning's Board of Commissioners meeting. We have a late agenda item. And Fred, unless you really want to stay here and listen to the rest of this meeting for another hour or so before you present, you're welcome to come up and we'll get rid of late agenda item, the report from the Powers Mayor.
Well, thank you. I would certainly
Thank you for being here.
appreciate that. Where do you just hang out right here?
You can sit or stand, whichever you prefer.
Well, okay. Well, a couple things here. The first thing is, we need, we're having trouble getting a policeman up there. We're advertising for one. Some of the citizens wanted to come here with me, but in the interest of decorum and civility, I talked them out of it because they brought the pitchforks. And but what in the past we have taken, it's happened twice now, where we took a police candidate, we sent them to the police school for 4 months, paid their whole wages the whole time. They came back and worked for us for a little while, and then they quit and went and got a job someplace else. So the city council just doesn't want to do that again. And I talked to Drew, and I was hoping that we could get the county deputy sheriff up there for maybe up to 10 hours a week or something. We have money, we can pay for that. And right now we're advertising for a part-time policeman at 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple candidates, but it's just the process takes a long time. And the local riffraff they just, if we have just someone who just drives around, you don't even have to make an arrest, but it would be like turning a light on with cockroaches. They would just scatter. And we have and there's not very many people, but there's enough of them out there to where they're a nuisance to everybody. Stuff comes up missing. There's a lot of gasoline getting siphoned, just little petty nuisance crimes, but everybody knows who it is, and they're emboldened by the fact they know there's no police presence there.
Yeah.
And if we just could get, say, 10 hours a week from a deputy sheriff, and they saw that, we could put that into our Facebook post, we could even magnify it further, and it would really go a long ways toward disrupting their patterns, and we got a whole bunch of people that vote in that town, and they need to be reassured, and this would make them feel a lot better, just seeing someone driving around. So those are two things that we could accomplish there if we could somehow get that done, and our city recorder, are you Bobby? Yeah, Stephanie says hello and thinks very highly of you. And anyway, we could sort that out. We could, come up with, if it's a matter of, paying for the guys to get up there, but hopefully they can break somebody loose, for a few hours each week. So it would really go a long, long ways there.
Yeah.
So.
That's a very reasonable request. And certainly we can talk to the sheriff about it. He would be the one that would have to decide to do that. I can talk a little bit about the downside without even talking to the sheriff. Unfortunately, deputies don't come in 1/4. Excuse me, I'll get rid of that. Deputies don't come in 1/4 increments. We have at any given time 2 deputies only on the road to cover the entire county. So taking 1/4 of that time,
Well, John,
it could be difficult. But I'm not saying no. I just want you to be. The other thing you need to know is that chances are, if it's a property crime, someone's stealing a tank of gas, nothing's going to happen. We don't have the budget to hire enough people to prosecute crimes, and we certainly don't have the budget enough to incarcerate, have enough jail space to take care of property crime. So as long as you know that, certainly we'll work with you, see what we can get
I knew
done.
that coming up here, but what I'm talking about is just disrupting your patterns, you know? I mean, if they're just there, we're not looking for them to arrest those guys for enhancement, just make
Yeah.
it so it's more difficult for them to do.
I understand
And they-
fully.
You know, the psychology would be very much more.
I imagine part
You
of
have to understand, though, our situation and how we're going to get that.
And if I might, John, there was, our previous mayor, Robert Koch, perhaps you knew him, he was a city manager in Reading for 20 years, way overqualified to be mayor. I talk to him all the time, he's a mentor of mine. And he is the only one in his family, his brothers, his mom and dad, his cousins and uncles were all policemen. And he has made the argument there that at the sheriff's office, and I'm just going by what he said, he knows more than I do, but he said that, you know, you could take some of those detectives there and put them in uniform, put them on patrol, and, you know, it would have a force multiplier.
So Captain Sanborn arrived, if we can steal you.
Yeah.
We're talking about Powers would like somebody to come out maybe up to 10 hours a week to have an officer around the town to drive off some of the increase they've seen in property crimes. Of course,
So
John,
I got kind of caught the last bit about our detectives do a lot.
Well,
They excuse me. Right now, we're currently working a major crimes team thing, which is why I'm dressed the way that I am.
yeah,
And we are very busy. They've pulled so much dope off of our streets that it's not even funny. So before we make suggestions, I would suggest that we have conversations and become educated. Okay? 10 hours a week. I don't know where I'd get them from.
Yeah.
I mean, we could hire somebody for, you know, but that would be another general fund draw. We got 2 deputies on working patrol.
They're willing to pay what they can. And I suggest that you talk, Fred, and you talk privately rather than in a big meeting like this, and just see if there's a possibility. And if there isn't, explain why we can't, and if we could with some money, squeeze some overtime or whatever it is out of the system, then you guys need to work that out. But I just think it's nice to have the con. By the way, you look good.
Well, orange goes with everything.
Look,
I saw Diesel has moved back, hasn't he?
yes, well, we got, our fire department's just about stood back up there. We're making some serious progress on it.
Yeah. I thought he had been a reserve deputy at one point, but I might be wrong.
Diesel?
Yeah,
Mitchell Allen? Yeah. Well, that's his
I only remember it as Diesel.
I
We
know,
worked
I know, but that's, I know.
trucking company together, but
No, well, he's our fire chief, and, you know, we had that whole
Yeah.
thing, when I came here, it was just, we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And so, but we got a couple of our, Ellen and Carla Blanton, and I forget Ellen's last name, anyway, they've just been really aces over aces on, you know, just doing all they've got all of our administrative chores done that Diesel couldn't do. And so our fire departments, we could put right now we could put a fire out in town, or if a house catches on fire, we make sure the house next door doesn't catch on
Yeah.
fire. That's what we can do. But we're gonna have wildland fire equipment and hopefully get a revenue stream. That's our hopes for the fire department in the future there,
Cool.
since we brought that up. But, you know, I appreciate that. I know that the resources are stretched thin for the county sheriff's office, but, you know, we're county residents too, and, you know, we're not asking for them to come up there and, you know, clean the town up. Just a presence is what we, is required here. What would go a long ways, just a presence. So,
well, it'd be good to have a conversation about that, including Robert. It was his idea around the detectives,
Yeah,
not yours.
yeah,
So
he's the one that pointed that out, and, you know,
is that your drawings for the,
yes, well, here, Drew, you know, you and I have talked about this.
Yep.
I'm aware of this also. I'm gonna give you guys, this, here, we did the AI thing, you know, or we got Stephanie got an AI application thing, so we started to, we did a preliminary thing with it, and it came out kind of neato. So then we put everything into there. Well, we overloaded it, I think, because we waited all week, and it just did not, it came back, and it just wasn't coming out the way we wanted to. So that AI still, this application. But we did come up with a couple of these things here to give you just a very rough idea. So,
Thank you.
yeah, and,
Wow.
so what we're talking about there was, Drew,
Yeah.
Lamar, that whatever that outfit is, what do they call it?
SCDC.
Yeah, and so Lamar was really helpful on this, and we sent that, an email out on that whole thing, stating what we were going to, what we're trying to do, and Lamar says, well, if we get 2 or 3 responses, we'll be doing good. Well, we got 8 responses, and one of them, 2
Really?
banks, a development corporation, and one of them was United States Representative Val Hoyle came back and wants to help, and I think David Brocksmith also. Anyway, the other thing was that the head of the Oregon State University Extension Office, the head person there, also responded, and they're interested in doing that.
Nice.
And they have this, they have the one in Myrtle Point, which is just kind of hidden. I've been in there. There's just not a lot's going on there. And what we're gonna have a proposal here to have a video conference here in about next week on this whole thing, and see if we can put a committee together further, and then start looking, basically find the money to go make this thing happen. That's roughly what we're gonna be doing. And we've got about a half a block of just downtown, beautiful downtown Powers there, and if we put something together like this, it would be dynamic,
Yeah.
We got full basement, 3 stories. There's going to be a drone port in there. There'll be an elevator. The top floor will be lodgings. We'll put a commercial kitchen in there to feed people, walk-in freezer. In the basement, want to put a couple of jail cells, a room for justice of the peace. I mean, it's a wish list,
You're looking at popping City Hall in there too.
Well, we certainly could, and maybe sell some of that property where money's fungible.
Yeah.
But, a drone port, and then there'll be laboratories for, the archaeology, the biology, and the geology. The archaeology part is that, when somebody wants to, develop a piece of property, sometimes they're stopped because they gotta have an archaeological dig.
Yeah.
If we say we have for postgraduate studies, but we can get graduate students in there, and something pops up, and we can just send them out there on a much reduced, expedited basis, and much reduced on cost. Biology, we've got the tribe, just bought 24 acres just 2 miles south of town, and they're gonna put a hatchery in there. I talked to John Hogan, he said, yes, we're gonna put a hatchery in there.
Nice.
So we got the biology part is there, plus, flora and fauna and all that sort of thing. And then the geology part, a good friend of mine and I we've got 160 acres of 6 mining claims up on Salmon Mountain. Salmon Mountain, believe it or not, was the first, they found gold there in the initial 1849 gold rush. They were at 1850. The first mining takes place there, probably some of you know this. And they mined all the way up until the start of World War II. And then World War II shuts it down, $35 an ounce, it kind of gets lost. Well, my friend Jerome, in Port Orford, didn't notice it's in our 30s or late 20s anyway. He's sitting there and he found all this on the internet, and we looked at it, and anyway, we got claims up there, and the head of the Forest Service is helping us on that thing, and we'd like to develop some responsible mining there.
Cool.
Therefore, geology, and geology students here, if our area wasn't covered with, timber, it'd be a geological wonderland, if you ever get out there and get past that, so.
I'll connect you with the state geologist. I ended up with his info because the Elliott, so
Yeah.
I'll link you up.
So we're gonna try and get our video conference together next week.
Cool.
And John, and
Give us, I'm not, we get busy, Fred. You might want to give us more than a week's, if we can't do it next week, have another time the week following.
okay,
because,
I'm gonna get back.
Sometimes scheduling a week ahead is even hard.
Okay,
So thank you.
yeah, okay.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. You betcha.
I
So-
appreciate what you're trying to do, and it would be a great thing
Well, I
if we
appreciate
could.
you guys hearing me out here on this.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Thanks for the work.
We'll see where it takes us.
Okay,
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you so much.
You bet.
Okay, let's move on to our regular agenda, item 3A. Mike, thank you.
Is this on? Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Let's see, 3A, this is funds coming into Coos Health and Wellness, $270,000 over 2 years for aid and assist community-based restoration services, and this will be used for housing. And it is an ongoing contract, something that we've done before.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Move to approve the intergovernmental agreement 44300-000504810-0 with Oregon Health Authority and authorized department head Mike Riley to sign.
Second, discussion.
Not related to the CFAA and all that, obviously, for this.
Actually, this is not part of the new CFAA, but this is part
Continuation.
of the, yeah.
Okay.
What is CFAA?
Oh, the state IGA contract.
The mental health funding
Yeah.
that I
Oh, okay.
keep complaining about
All
the
right.
state on.
All right. Further discussion? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. Let's move on to 3B, Mike.
Yes, this one is $100,000 coming in over 2 years for public health for OHP sign-up services.
Move to approve intergovernmental agreement 44300-000493116. Feel like a computer with the Oregon Health Authority and authorized department head Mike Riley to sign.
Second the motion, discussion.
Eh,
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. 3C.
Yes, this is also money coming in, $75,000, and this is in support of South Coast Together, so we can pay for that program.
Move to approve grant agreement with Ford Family Foundation and authorized department head Mike Riley to DocuSign.
I second the motion.
Can you remind me what South Coast Together is?
Yeah, that's the organization that works on trauma-informed care. So
Oh.
we have staff that are trained in that, and we will be taking that program over, or we have, and this is the start of it.
Cool.
Thank you. Further discussion?
Nope.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. Go to 3D, Mike.
This one is, we're spending some money, $15,417 for a sound masking system in 2 of our hallways. These are where our therapists sit for our access services as well as our adult services. Even though this is a new building, apparently it was not built around HIPAA regulations, and so if you've been there, you've seen the sound machines. Well, this is a better system. We've had an engineer come out and tell us what we need to do and what was wrong with the building. So this is step 1. Step 2 is we will be having better doors installed to help the sound from escaping. So this is to help the sound in between and in the hallways, in between offices.
And I assume this is primarily not just so it's nicer over there, but protect the privacy of the
Oh, yes,
discussions
definitely,
between your
yeah.
counselors and your patients.
Exactly.
Thank you. Further discussion? Those in favor, please say aye.
Did I make a motion?
Oh, a
Okay.
motion, I guess.
Move to
moving
approve
along.
the contract with OEG Inc., doing business as Integrated System Group, and authorized department head Mike Rowley to sign.
Second, now that we have that discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. Move on to 3E.
Yes, so we have revised the behavioral health director position, and we are wanting to move Megan into this position, Megan Riddle, and we will also double fill for succession purposes with David while he is transitioning out.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Move to approve the updated behavioral health director job description and approve reclassification of Megan Riddle to the position effective October 1st, 2025. Approve and sign payroll resolution 25-09-186P.
And I second that. Discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. 3F.
Yes, this one is to reclassify one of our staff from an IT tech position 1 to an IT tech position 2, effective October 1st.
And move to approve reclassification of Christina,
Muschetto?
thank you, Muschetto to IT Systems Tech 2, Step 1, effective October 1st, 2025, and approve payroll resolution 25-09-187P.
Second. Discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. 3G.
Yes, this last one is requesting spending authority to pay $30,000 to maintenance for the work that we budgeted for the fiscal year 25-26.
Move to approve spending authority of $30,000 to pay Coos County maintenance work invoice for fiscal year 25-26.
And second that, and discussion.
Yep.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. Mike, it's just like the good old days. You came back here with all kinds of things. We've been missing you. Thought maybe you were angry at us. I feel kind of bad.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to 3H, the assessor. Morning, Jason.
Good morning. How are you gentlemen doing?
Fine, thank you.
All right. We are requesting to move Josh Moore from Property Appraiser 1, Step 1 to Property Appraiser 2, Step 1, effective October 1st, 2025. He successfulully passed his one-year probationary period on October 1st, 2025, and he's performing well and up to standards. And this is included in our 25-26 budget.
Do we have a motion?
Move to approve classification change for Joshua Moore from Property Appraiser 1 to Property Appraiser 2, Step 1, effective October 1st, 2025, and approve payroll resolution 2025-09-196P.
Second, discussion.
Yep.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you very much. Item 3I.
I'll
Clerk,
take this one.
You want to take this one? Thank you.
So this is an appointment of property value appeals board members. The clerk's office is required to appoint members that make up the pool of citizens from which the Coos County PVAB is drawn. All of these members are trained through the Department of Revenue. Each are qualified and willing to serve as members on the board. So these are roughly 2-year terms, and the citizens who are eligible and willing to serve in this capacity are Harold Bryce, Fred Messerly, and Debbie Heller.
Move to appoint the PVAB pool as recommended.
And I second the motion.
Uh,
And do we need to approve the order number?
Yeah, let's add that in there as well.
And
You wish
approve-
to add that?
Yep, approve order number 25-09-045L.
Can you take that as one motion, Bobby? No, I'll second that as one motion. Discussion.
Where do the nominations come from for this?
I'm not 100% sure. I know that a couple of these members have been doing this for
Yeah.
a while, and so I think they may nominate themselves or apply.
I'm just looking at how folks can get involved. I was talking to students this week, so I drag the young people into stuff. This may not be of interest to them, but yeah, that was it.
Certainly an opportunity.
Any reason we can't tell people the names here, rather than just referring to an order number?
I think I said their names, but yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Harold Bryce, Fred Messerly, and Debbie Heller are the three appointed. Okay, further discussion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is approved. Jill, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. So I am here today to request approval of road names. The first one is an order adopting the official road name of Mueller Lane. For those of you that don't know, in road naming, if you have, when you get to the third address on a road, the emergency 911 says that we have to adopt a road name. So, and then we have to put addresses in place so that we're being efficient with emergency services. So the first one is Mueller Lane, and that is, hold on, sorry.
Off of
Off of Railroad Road, southeast of the city of Coos Bay. So that's the first one I'm asking for.
a lot of growth out in that area. I need someone.
Enough that you need a road name.
So, to have a motion, we have to have the order number two.
Move to adopt an official name of Road Mueller Lane located off Railroad Road, southeast of the city of Coos Bay, order number 25-09-0044PL.
And I second that. Discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. 3K.
Okay, so this is the second road name. This is Rhea Lane. It's located off of Flanagan Road, south of the city of Coos Bay.
And move to adopt an official name of a road, Rhea Lane, located off Flanagan Road, south of the city of Coos Bay, under order number 25-09-043PL.
Second. Discussion.
Yep.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Colton, yeah, I think this one is for you, is it not?
Yeah, that's correct. This is a sub-grant agreement with Alternative Youth Activities. This is a agreement that would award $300,000 in House Bill 4123 grant funds for direct housing assistance. The board approved of this concept of this project at a June 25th work session as an alternative to the Hope Village project, which did not come to pass.
Move to approve sub-grant agreement with AYA.
And I second the motion. Discussion.
For the purpose of any public watching, Hope Village was a project by the Salvation Army. Their central command, they have a command structure similar to the military, and the command level that needed to approve the money for them was a couple years out, it sounded like, so they have stepped out of that. The money's being awarded instead to Alternative Youth Activity, who works with youth that are experiencing challenges and need support to carry on.
Thank you for the explanation.
As well as the Salvation Army for the street outreach project and a commercial kitchen remodeling that would serve the homeless.
To do
So
that, help with
those sub-grant agreements are forthcoming.
Okay, further discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. We have a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Move to approve consent calendar.
Second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. I know we have two late agenda items. You want to take yours first? Thank you.
Move to add
Yeah.
access agreement for Inglewood School site to the late agenda item.
And ask also to, ask approval to make an appointment to Southwest SWAC, whatever that stands for. It has to do with highways. It's an advisory, Southwest
Additionally,
Oregon.
so moved.
Advisory,
I
yeah.
added that.
Okay, so we have a motion and we now have, I second those to hear two late agenda items. So you may take yours first.
Did you guys vote?
Oh,
Aye.
no, aye. Thank you. Thanks, Bobby. I'm trying to hurry along.
Yes. Okay. So this is a hold harmless and indemnity agreement with developer Compass Communities Englewood LLC. to access the Englewood School site in Coos Bay. In 2019, the county entered into an IGA with the city of Coos Bay to conduct environmental cleanup on that property in exchange for the county conveying that property to a named nonprofit. Last month, the county amended the IGA to convey the property directly to the city. The city intends to reconvey this property to a developer, but closing is taking longer than expected, and the developer's in a position to perform preparatory work on the property this week, to prepare it for future development. So this access agreement would just allow the developer on pending, the closing.
Move to approve access agreement for the Englewood School site, including minor revisions subject to council approval.
Second the motion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion approved. I was off looking at something else here. Did you explain the whole process about the Englewood School, how it first was dedicated to low-cost housing and that didn't show up, and so now this will?
Yeah, that was the city's intention was to clean up the property. There'd been a large fire there, and clean up the property and then convey that to a nonprofit for low-income housing. But that went through a couple nonprofits with the hope of that happening, and this wasn't getting any traction. So now the city's looking to work with a developer who's ready to go right now.
They're talking about somewhere between 30 and 40 homes. They're not large. I think in the range of 900 to 1,200 square feet per home on the property where the old Englewood School District once stood. These will be market-driven homes. They won't be subsidized, and the taxes will be paid on them, unlike what would happen were this used for low-cost housing. I think it's a win-win. The low-cost housing people had been trying to get funding for 4 or 5 years and never did. And finally, a developer said, hey, I'd like to come pay for the property and build homes, and I'll get going. And he's wanting to get started this week or next. Won't be much done this time of the year other than earthwork, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. So that's good. So, did we approve that? We did. Okay. Then the other late agenda item is that the county is supposed to have a designated person to sit on this ODOT's SWACT committee. That's Southwestern Oregon Advisory Council or something like that. And it's where local people can have input regarding what projects ODOT takes on. And I suggest that we appoint our roadmaster and public works director, Paul Slater, to that position, and I make that a motion.
Second?
Paul will be surprised.
Excellent.
Any discussion? Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good, Paul. Now,
What happens
commissioners,
when you're not here?
commissioner comments.
Just some quick stuff. We're making good time. Had the opportunity last week to go talk to students at Marshfield Z Club. There are a lot of young folks looking at getting involved in government, and I recommended reaching out towards nonprofits as well as a start so they can learn about restricted funds and that sort of thing. So anybody that happens to watch and is looking for board members on nonprofits, you can reach out to the Z Club at Marshfield, and they'll help you find students that want to learn things, and I'm sure they'll be highly entertained by the numbers. Talking with some legislators about state police. We're short-staffed out here. Our region is allocated 14 officers. We have 9, and just kind of pushing on them because we've got our own challenges with law enforcement. So pushing on the state to see why they're not matching their own either. Or they've got the allocation, they just don't meet the money. So my counter suggestion was they should give us the money because we can meet the staff. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I'll just keep mine short. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Going back to our last Board of Commissioners meeting, which was a while back, we've had a good deal of controversy over our continuing to harvest our county forests in the vicinity of the bike trails. And that was the deal going in, that we would have to continue harvesting. We couldn't give up that much revenue. And that was fine at the beginning, but not everyone, of course, that rides out there knew of that, and some seem to have forgotten that. So we were able to work with the trail people and come to a very amicable solution to it, and we are continuing to harvest out there. In fact, we have 2 sales, the roads and landings to which have been built, and now people will resume riding until the logging operations actually start. We don't know exactly when that would be. Our sheriff and Commissioner Taylor made a very nice presentation at the Coos Bay North Bend Chamber of Commerce, talking primarily, I think, about county finances. What else did you talk about, Sheriff?
Just state of the office, and it really answered a lot of questions.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. They did a great job, and the audience was very engaged. And thanks for doing that. On Monday of the 22nd, the district number commissioners from District 4 of AOC, which is Coos, Curry, Douglas, and Josephine. Jackson is no longer a member of AOC, or they would have been there, met in Coos County. It rotates every 4 years. And frankly, we had the best outturn that I've seen in the 10 or 12 years or 13 years I've been doing this. I was really pleased that many people they wanted to come here. And we had wonderful conversations, primarily centered around funding of local governments, which, as we know, the county is, property taxes just do not keep up with the cost of doing business, largely due to measures 5 and 50, which limit the increase in property taxes from year to year, which is great for all of us tax-paying citizens, but it's not so great when you're trying to run an enterprise like a county or a school district or a city or a rural fire department or a port, because the revenues just don't keep up with inflation. Although we kept our nose above water here for 10 or 12 years, when this last round of inflation, when a lot of money was pumped into the economy after COVID or during COVID, I don't know what the inflation went up, but it's probably 15 to 20% over that 3-year period, and it just killed us. So it's been tough, and so a good part of the conversation was about alternative methods. And I told him just to send you a bill, Phil. You take care of it yourself. But they thought, no, that wouldn't be fair. No, and no answers were, suggestions and thoughts, but it's the start of a conversation that we have to have, or else we're going to continually be in the situation of just having to cut to balance our budget. The night before the meeting, I had dinner at my house for the head of AOC and three of her top staff. And I had told them, they said, what are we going to have? And I said, well, I'm going to catch some fish for you on Saturday, and we're going to have salmon on Sunday. They said, well, we won't count on that. Well, we caught 6 fish on Saturday, and so we had more than enough for them. What else do we have here? I skipped work Friday afternoon and drove down to California and spent the weekend with my daughter and my grandkids and drove back yesterday. That was a long drive. And I think that's all I have. So, citizen comments. Phil, you're up first.
No running now.
Yep.
Phil Thompson, Coos Bay. Really, John, I'd give up going to say anything till you brought those taxes back up. And man, you hashed this over quite a few times, but until the warehouses and the people like that start paying their fair share, they use our infrastructure and everything else, and they've pretty well shielded. You know, we've lost a lot of money in the last few years. We give them that tax break when they said they was out of timber. Then they're supposed to, after 40 years or whatever it was, they're supposed to go back. We was going to start getting taxes again. We've been ripped off. And this is my opinion. Until we do, I don't think the people's going to give you much until those other people start paying too. And I thank you very much.
Phil, I'm pleased to tell you, respond to you, that that very matter was discussed, as well as other alternative ways. We've got to figure out something. I just don't think that even if we had a tax levy, cost of increase of living would burn through that before too long. I will say that it could well be difficult to have many people around the state feel sorry enough for counties like ours that have a very, very low county property tax rate to help much until we get kind of back up somewhere close to average. But I don't argue, Phil, at all that we have to have some kind of a substitute for property taxes. And I think I think the timber industry needs to pay its fair share. That was brought up.
Okay. I thank you for saying that, John. But I think really all it takes is the people we're sending to the state to have enough, them little things between your legs to just tell them they're going to pay it.
Well, I don't think 3 or 4 local legislators can fight that fight against the timber industry and its beneficiaries.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, it has to be done. How to get there is another.
Well, I think, everything's political. I think that, Kant never did do nothing. But you got some people that have got the ability to get the rest of them to go along. Now, I don't know how to do that, but I know it's going to have to be done.
We're trying to find those some people. I want to make you happy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Eldon,
I'll take a rain check on that.
are you sure? We haven't heard from you for a long time. We got time today. We We haven't heard from you for a long time. Get up here.
I'll take a rain check.
Okay, well, I'm not sure I'm going to give you one. David.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is David Jennings. I'm from Coquille. I just wanted to comment briefly because it dovetails with the presentation we heard from the Mayor of Powers, the kind of consequences we have when we can't do the basic things that the county should be able to do. One of the things that I just would like to add is that, You remember last year how many times we heard from people that claimed that they were in support of law enforcement, but they opposed any kind of tax levy to give them any money. And I think one of the destructive things about this is you have both the immediate impact of crime and criminality that there isn't adequate consequences for. But on top of that, you have an incredible cynicism, because I still hear that all the time. Well, if the county or if somebody else really wanted to, they could put more officers on the street or jail more people or et cetera, do something to control crime, and that it's just basically some political motivation or sheer stupidity or both, that they won't do anything effective. And the reality that I think I've said and a lot of people have pointed out repeatedly is unless you're willing to pay something in increased taxes, you're probably going to have to count on receiving diminished services. And that's just the reality of it. And I wish people would be honest about it. People feel so strongly about this that they don't want to pay the taxes. I'm not saying that they should say, hey, Ray, I want to be a crime victim, or I want my neighbors to be crime victims. But I think people have to have a sense of reality about what can be done and what can't be done. And I think it's very destructive for people to continue to go around and say, I support the police, I support law enforcement, I support accountability in the criminal law, but in essence, they won't do a damn thing to basically increase that accountability at all. And I don't have any quick solution to that. But again, you're going to have this increasingly downward spiral, and perhaps one of the most insidious things about it, it'll be very slow, and there won't be some point where people will snap to and say, hey, this is the reason for it. There'll just be this continual denial that really that we can't do something about this under the status quo, and really we can't. So I don't know what the solution is either, but I just thought I'd point that out.
Ironically, and I absolutely agree with you, but I would add the irony that I've heard of is that people say, well, why aren't we doing more? And I said, well, we asked for help to do more, and you didn't give it to us. We don't have the money to work with. Their response is, well, I'm not going to approve spending more for the county based on their performance. They completely tune out the possibility that we don't have money to do all the things we're supposed to be doing.
Well, yeah,
it's our fault because we're stupid, or we don't know what we're doing, or whatever it is.
Or you're pure evil.
Or what?
You're pure evil.
Yeah,
I don't know either. No, that phenomenon, as I said,
all the money.
It's very, very destructive because it's a refusal to face reality on top of the fact you're just going to continue to have this problem. But at some point, somebody will have a magic wand and wave it, and everything will get back to normal.
Well, in Josephine County, they did, after agreeing amongst themselves, and by not approving public safety tax measures, and rely upon the state police, they eventually did choose to pass a public safety 5-year levy.
And I think that was impressive. I mean, I know they were, and I don't know if any other place did this or still does this, but I mean, Josephine County at times, you've probably heard this, they're so desperate that people would call the fire department because they knew that a truck would come with sirens, and they figured whoever was breaking into their house or was prowling their property would run off because they'd think it was the cops. You know, that's how desperate they got. But yeah, hopefully there's finally a place where you get, just like in any place where you're denying reality, where you come in contact with it and you begin to wise up about it. And hopefully that'll come fairly soon, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it.
I think the sheriff would recall our being in Powers and having the citizens say, no, we're not going to pay for a public safety levy. It was very straightforward.
Well,
and because you don't send anyone up to help protect us.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a great way to get somebody else.
And here they are today asking for just that.
Well, asking for more, and it's an understandable reaction on one level, but I think leaders especially have an obligation to speak the truth on this. I think you people do. I think there are people in the community that are leaders that don't, but that's the way the world works.
There's an interesting comparable, too, to it echoes a problem that I've been finding as we try and work towards, there's been a long push to get a high-intensity drug trafficking area designation for our region. I went down a rabbit hole on it. And the response I started getting back from the federal government was that we didn't have the numbers of drugs seized to support the increased investment on the Coast Guard side out here. But the reason they didn't have numbers is because the Coast Guard was not being assigned to search the ships, because they didn't have the funding. So how do you get to the point where you prove that the Coast Guard needs more people when they're not being given the tools to demonstrate they need more people? And we saw a recent push recently in Charleston, which was good, but it's that same paradox, just at a localer level.
Well, and I think that's true, and I think it would be obvious logically that this would be a high-intensity area simply because not 101, and then you have an international port, and then you have smaller ports up and down it, and
Yeah, that was a funny, Sheriff, what was the name of the organization that just realized we have a deep water port? It was that Western drug group, I forget what they were called.
Wizen?
Yeah, it might have been.
It was Wizen's Western States Information Network.
Yeah, so part of the federal drug system just realized there's an international port in Kuzback.
okay, well, I guess you could call that progress.
It's something.
On that note, I'll sit down.
It's taken a lot of pushing by Captain Sanborn to get that information
Yeah.
out there. You think it'd be obvious, but
Yeah, no, y'all have done a hell of a job getting them to move.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
We got a board here.
yeah.
Keith, what brought you here today?
Just checking on you.
I've been down to the fairgrounds twice in the last 2 weeks, and where in the hell have you been? Have you quit?
I'm retired until March,
Oh, okay, that's
unless it's something major.
allows, March is okay, thank you. Thanks again
I'm
for all,
trying to heal up is what I'm trying to do.
thank you for all you do down there. Okay, we are adjourned, thank you, everyone.